After the United States recognized the Philippines as an independent nation in 1946, no coins were minted for the Philippine Republic until 1958, other than a silver commemorative issue in 1947 to commemorate the liberation of the Philippines from the Japanese by General Douglas MacArthur. These coins were the very first coins struck for the new Philippine Republic and were the first commemoratives of the era. This commemorative set included a 90% silver peso and a 90% silver 50 centavo coin. A total of 100,000 peso coins and 200,000 50 centavo coins were created in 1947. All were minted at the San Francisco Mint and bear the S mint mark. The obverse and reverse of both coins were the creation of engraver Laura Garden Fraser. You can find her initials under the bust of MacArthur. The commemorative MacArthur peso coin weighs 20 grams. The diameter is 35.5 millimeters. Thickness 2.2 millimeters. The metal content is 0.2787 troy ounces and is 90% silver pure. The obverse of the peso coin displays the right-facing bust of General Douglas MacArthur. Around the outside of the coin is the inscribed phrase, "Defender and Liberator of the Philippines." The name General Douglas MacArthur is divided by the image of the general, and below the bust is the date October 20th, 1944, representing the triumphant return of General MacArthur to the Philippine Islands. The reverse displays the Philippine coat of arms of the Republic. Below it you will find the date of mintage, 1947. Above the coat of arms is the word Philippines, and at the very bottom is inscribed 1 peso. The mint mark of S is located directly under the date. The commemorative MacArthur 50 centavos coin weighs 10 grams. Its diameter 27.5 millimeters. Thickness 2 millimeters. Metal content 0.2411 troy ounces and is 90% pure silver. The obverse of this coin's design is similar to that of the peso version, with the right-facing bust of the general, the same inscriptions, name, and historic date which can be found in the same corresponding locations as the peso coin. This coin is just 8 millimeters smaller in diameter. The reverse design is identical to that of its peso partner. One of the most decorated soldiers in the history of the United States military, Douglas MacArthur became famous for both losing and retaking the Philippines during World War II. It was from Corregidor that Philippine President Manuel Quezon and General MacArthur were forced to flee the Philippines to Australia in February 1942 due to the advancing Japanese invading force. It was during his departure that MacArthur made the famous quote, "I shall return." And return he did. On October 20th, 1944, a few hours after his troops landed, MacArthur waded ashore onto the Philippine island of Leyte. That day, he made a radio broadcast in which he declared, "People of the Philippines, I have returned." On January 9, 1944, U.S. forces under the command of General Douglas MacArthur landed on the island of Luzon and proceeded to fight their way south to liberate the capital city of Manila. As the forces of liberation neared Manila, the Japanese general in command of the Philippines ordered all of his forces to withdraw from the city. Unfortunately, the commander of the Japanese Defense Force in Manila disobeyed his orders and fortified the city. The ensuing battle to liberate Manila had historical significance in that it was the only occasion on which American and Japanese forces fought each other in a city, and it was the largest Pacific War battle that either nation's army had ever engaged in up to that time. In September 1945, MacArthur received the Japanese surrender which ended World War II. You will not find these coins listed in most U.S. coin guidebooks because they are technically not a U.S. coin. They were minted by the U.S. for the Philippines because their mint facility was completely destroyed during the Japanese occupation. Did you know that the Manila Mint was the first and, to date, the only U.S. branch mint located outside of the continental United States? My opinion of the MacArthur commemorative coins. These coins are saturated with history and represent our nation's commitment to liberate the Philippines from their invaders. Having a 90% silver coin with one of our nation's most badass military generals on it, who wouldn't want a coin like that? Also, something else which makes these coins unique is that it's the only MacArthur coin minted while the general was still alive. U.S. coins are prohibited by law to have the likeness of a living person on them. The Philippines have no such restrictions, and thus a U.S. mint was able to create foreign sovereign coins with a living American on them. Something else you should know. Most of these coins were normally very lightly or poorly struck at the mint. So if you happen across an example that has a deep, fine strike, you need to hang on to it. They are very difficult to find. I am thankful to have a piece of real history that these coins represent as part of my coin collection.